Okay. Hello everybody, welcome back. I just wanted to make this video about one of the questions that I got and actually kind of continue to get in my personal life, in Q&As, in my friends asking me all kinds of things, is how do I stay inspired and how do I keep staying inspired? Because I think there's a big difference there. Yeah, I have a couple like tips and tricks that I do personally that help me a lot with, brainstorming and actually wanting to continue to do this creative journey and be a starving artist, so to speak, for a little bit until, I can open up a studio or things like that. So yeah, this is gonna be long, so that's why I wanted to make it its own video. So one of the things that I do to consistently stay inspired is flood my feeds with creativity, whether it's paintings or even some of the ads that I get are really, really cool. Like the editing is really cool, and like the visual effects are super cool. And as you guys know, I am not actually a videographer. I just do videos and I shoot video for very, very specific, very special situations for me. And I'm very, very picky about what I will shoot video for. But that aside, it is something that I admire so greatly and so heavily because of my knowledge in it. The granted, slightly limited knowledge that I have in it. But even just like that, it's truly mind-boggling, the things that people are able to create and put together and edit and the effects that they can do. It's honestly inspiring. And so that's like another thing that really kind of fuels me, is seeing other people put out this like incredible work that I could only ever dream of being able to comprehend how they did it and how many layers it took or how many After Effects inserts it took, and just the time and the energy and the effort and the vision. It's all something that I always take into account when I look at somebody else's work. I think of like, oh, well, where did this start? Okay, well, that's the base image. Okay, how did it get here? And I think about all the work that went into that, and I think about how like they must love it. And if I'm not willing to do that for my craft and my art and my job and my own self, why would I want to do it for anybody else? Why would I want to pursue a job that is genuinely very draining for so many people, even people that are tenured in the field who've been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years? They get tired too. They get burnt out. They get drained from constantly having that mask on and constantly thinking about, who they have to reach out to next and whose shoot that they have to confirm and everything like that, and what props do they need. And there are definitely ways to make that easier and make that a little more friendly, I guess, a little more brain friendly, with things like Sprout Studio and QuickBooks and all that stuff, because I know that Sprout Studio has its own calendar thing and its own booking system and its own marketplace and its own e-commerce layout and everything like that. And GoDaddy has that as well. I think Wix has added that too. So there are definitely things that can make everything a little bit easier, but it still gets to be a lot sometimes, you know? And that for somebody who does struggle with ADHD and executive dysfunction, like I'm sure so many other people do, I'm sure that there's a million of you out there, so to speak, that also struggle with, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to start. It's overwhelming. I don't know how to execute it. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what my first step is. I don't know. And you're just so scatterbrained, and you're overwhelmed, and you're stressed out about something that should bring you peace. And that was something that I told myself going into this. If I am ever stressed out over content, I'm done. Or I'm at least taking a break from posting, from, you know, things like that. And I'll always shoot. Always, always, always. I will always shoot. It might not be a profession. If it starts to stress me out too much, or worry me, or consume my life in a negative aspect, then I don't have to do it professionally, you know? And I think knowing that something that you're so passionate about, and you want to make your career, and you want to look forward to and build on and look at as this end-all be-all, I think it's really important that we have to tell ourselves, as specifically creatives, because we get burnt out so easily, I find, that it's okay. It's okay that it doesn't work out. It's okay to have a fallback option. It's okay to have a contingency plan. It's okay to not have it all figured out. It's okay to not drop everything and just do it. It's okay not to have the resources to be able to do that. That's fine. What's not fine is not trying. What's not fine is not even looking into it. What's not fine is not seeing it as an option, because I promise you it is an option. You can do it. It's just about how to get there. Another thing that kind of like helps me stay inspired on like the opposite kind of thought process is that don't have a backup plan. Like if you've gone through all of the steps, and you know, you're like, no, like I'm not getting sick of this. I love this. Like this is still what I want to do for my life. And you know, you've been doing this for umpteen years or whatever, and you still want to do it, and you still find passion in it, and you still find joy in it, and you still find love in it, and you're not getting these reoccurring burnouts, and you're not getting these super big physical and emotional reactions from one thing not working out, one shoot not working out, one song not working out, one story not working out, one picture not working out, one painting not working out. As soon as you stop beating yourself up for that, and you still love it, or as soon as you can beat yourself up for that and still laugh at yourself and still move on and say, okay, yeah, that's okay, actually, like that just wasn't supposed to be something that I was making, and that's okay. And you don't look at it with this ominous, daunting cloud saying, oh, I have to go create this. I have to go do this thing, right? I have to go do this commission project. I have to go do this. I have to do this. I have to do that. When you're still looking at it and saying like, oh, I have to do this, blah, 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 but you have the mindset of I get to do this. I get to do what I love forever. It kind of changes your perspective when you have no backup plan, when you have so much love and passion for it still stored in yourself. When you can say, I've done this for so long and I still love it. It still brings me joy. It's still the reason why I get up in the morning and I go do this thing that I don't like. It's so that later in the day I get to do this thing that I love and I'm so passionate about until I can do that forever. I think that that's something that people also forget, is that it's okay not to have a backup plan. It's alright. You'll be okay, I promise. Something will work out, I promise. There's no way that in this era of social media and TikTok and Instagram and algorithms and technology and AI and all these incredible and confusing and crazy technological advances, you can't do what you want to do and find a way to live off of it. There's no way. I don't believe it. And I don't think that you should believe it either, because honestly, that gives you an out. That gives you an, oh, it's a pipe dream. If it happens, that's amazing, but if not, I'm not worried about it. You should be worried about it. If this is what you want to do, do it. One way or another, do it. Another way that I stay inspired is I genuinely I redid this room completely, which by the time this is out, you guys will probably have seen that. That whole video of me completely redoing this room. But I wanted a space that I wanted to be in. And I feel like that's super, super important. And I understand that not everybody has an extra room or even an extra closet or extra space that they can kind of take over and make into their own studio or their own office or their own workshop or whatever the case may be. I understand that not everybody has access to that, but even if it's just like a corner of your room that you only go to when you're drawing, when you're writing, when you're painting, when you're shooting, when you're editing, even if it's just that, and it's just this small little corner that's just decorated and peaceful and a place that you can find calmness in, I promise you, the creative juice, they will flow. They will flow. Like I constantly find myself just wanting to be in here and wanting to edit something, but I have nothing to edit except for these videos. But by the time you'll see this, I will definitely have things to edit. But it's so important to have a space that you actually want to be in. Because if you don't want to be in your space, how are you going to want to be creative in it? And creativity is such a raw thing for so many people. It's so personal and it's so honest. And it's very difficult to truly do that if you don't feel comfortable in the space that you're in and in the environment that you're in. If you can't be comfortable, you can't create because you can't relax. Creativity comes from your brain. It comes from those moments of stress. It comes from the sadness. It comes from the good times and the tears and the laughter and the joy, the passion. It comes from so many different places. And the only time that you can really look back and be like, oh, that's what that was, is when you're calm. If you're overwhelmed and your emotions are all over the place and you're, really dysregulated and you're just not, you're not having a good day, why do you expect to create something like Van Gogh or like Picasso or like Monet or Richard Avedon or all of these incredible people that we know by name? Their work was inspired. In and of itself, their work was inspired by their pain, by their hardships, by their insanity, by their stress, by their commonalities, by their indifferences, by their everything that makes up human emotion. Their work is inspired by it. But I guarantee you, one night they had an idea and then they did it. They just did it, right? And do you think that they did that in the most stressful time of their life? Maybe, but when they thought of the idea, they were probably doing this. They were sitting down, they were eating dinner, and they said, oh, guys, I've got it. This is the idea. Or they were looking at their model and they were thinking, oh yeah, this is really great. This is the idea I have. And then they say, wait, no, actually, this is what I want to do. And it's incredible. It's incredible. Look at Annie Leibovitz. She's so chill, like all the time. In any documentary you see, she is on it. She's going, she knows what she wants, she knows what she doesn't want. Those ideas are larger than life, which I think is a very good representation of her. She's very much larger than life, but she is so calm all the time, and look at the work that she puts out. Incredible. It's insane. Like, truly. It's crazy the headspace that you have to be able to put out that work. And it's inspiring yet again. Everything around you is inspiration. And as soon as my fellow creatives see that, the sooner that you will be unstoppable. Being in a space that you feel comfortable in, and a space that you actually want to be in. I'm gonna show you kind of like a little desk moment, like a what's on my desk, what this room looks like without the filming lights on in like a half a second. Here you go. And on the topic of, surrounding yourself with other creativity, whether it be on social media, in real life, through, forums like Reddit, or, the comment section on a video on Facebook that your brother, nieces, aunts, cousins, uncles, neighbors, dogs, kids, wife shared. It's the people that you keep around you as well. It's your friends, it's your family, it's your support system. It's the people at, if you have a day job, it's the people at your day job. It is, you are who you hang out with. And you don't have to be them specifically. You don't have to do everything that they do. You don't have to believe everything that they believe. But if you take a rotten piece of fruit and you put it next to amazing fruit that is ripe and perfect and ready to go and great and wonderful, I'm sure you guys have all seen this analogy. It starts to rot in a second, basically. It takes like 2 hours for it to start to rot. The same is true for people. Surround yourself with people that lift you up and make you want to be better and make you want to enjoy your life. Surround yourself with people who you want to be creative with, who you want to share ideas with, like Nikita and Maddie. It's MG Photography. Go check her out. And Nikita is Photography Goblin. I will definitely tag them, but moving on. It's the people you keep around you. They have to get it to be able to get it, you know? And if they don't support you, and if they don't constantly challenge you to think of better things to make and share their ideas and build each other up, then how are you supposed to continually get better without feedback, without more ideas, without all of these things that as humans I think we kind of need to improve on ourselves? It's like if you had spinach in your teeth and nobody told you, how are you gonna know? How are you gonna know that, right? And it's funny because everybody kind of thinks of, like, specifically the photo and film industry as this super competitive industry. I don't think it is, and I don't think that most people are competitive in this industry. I think that it's a very oversaturated industry, but there's no competition, because anybody who does anything creative isn't doing what you're doing. They aren't shooting what you shoot, in the style that you shoot, in the way that you shoot, with the passion you shoot. They're not doing that. They may shoot what you shoot. I've seen dozens of boudoir photographers. I've seen dozens of portrait photographers. I've seen dozens of, you know, corporate headshot photographers. I've seen dozens of product photographers. There's a lot out there for sure. But if I were to go meet up with a boudoir photographer, we're gonna have totally different ideas, for one. And for two, if we somehow have the same idea and we shoot it and light it and do everything the same, there's still gonna be two totally different photos. No one is doing what you are doing. No one is your competition, because if you have competition, then you're not creating what truly speaks to you. You can create so many things, so many incomprehensible things to me right now, that you think, oh, there's nothing else I can create, like, I'm gonna do these couple things. That's when you start losing your passion. Don't lose your passion, because when your passion goes, so does your inspiration, so does your will to do better, so does your will to create more. Everything that you create is your legacy. Everything that you can come up with and can think about and can conceptualize, do those. Do the scary ones, do the big ones, do the larger than life ones. Do the big ideas, because you thought of them for a reason. You're obviously passionate about them. You obviously want to do them. What is stopping you? And I know most of you are probably going to be like, oh, money, resources, blah, 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 blah. Save up. Oh, money, resources, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's fair. Yep. But do it low key. Do it low key for what you're able to do now. Or draw it out and save it in a file and be like, this is what I want to do. Don't trash it. Don't ever trash an idea, ever. Because that's when you lose your passion. When you start saying, oh, those ideas are too big, I can possibly do that. Those frames are so big, like I could never fill them. I could never be on a billboard. I could never, paint the Mona Lisa, I could blah, 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 blah. You could. You can. If that's what you want to do. I promise you, where there's a will, there's a way. And I have never truly believed that until I started creating. Because you will figure it out. It's going to be trial and error. It's going to be blood, sweat, and tears. It's going to be so messy and it's going to be so stressful. But you will figure it out. How I stay inspired is by all of this. Everything that I have worked for, everything that I've worked towards, all of the people around me, all of you looking at my camera right now, the photos on this wall, the people who constantly tell me that I can dream bigger, that I can do bigger, that I can be bigger, that I can just be this force to be reckoned with. So can you. I stay inspired because I choose to stay inspired. I stay inspired because I don't have a choice not to. I stay inspired by inspiring others. Because it's a community and we all work together, and there is no reason why I should hide what I'm truly passionate about from somebody else who is also passionate about the same thing, because I'm worried that they'll take my spot. Nothing is reserved. There's no spot to take. I stay inspired because I want to. I stay inspired because I can. I stay inspired by dreaming. I stay inspired by everything that I haven't done yet.